Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling, thankful Thursday. How was your Thursday? Did you have a super fantastic, sparkling day so far? I know mine has been full of lessons today and revelations. But like I said this morning, I woke with just with my whole being just singing with love and joy and gratitude this morning. It was just an incredible way to wake up this morning. Um, One thing I forgot to mention this morning, we went for our walk, and I don't know if you remember, but about a month or so ago, we posted a picture of this beautiful, huge cactus, which is here on the resort. There's a lot of them around, but this one's up near the main office. And all of a sudden, like about a couple of feet at the bottom had just fallen away, and it was just the center trunk piece holding it together. And I kept wondering how long that was going to last. And it's been through a few windstorms, and I'd go down and check, and it was still there. Well, this morning, when Zeffie and I were walking back, we walked around the corner, and I was like, it's gone. The winds that came through here yesterday that were rocking and rolling the RV had toppled this cactus. It was huge. It was probably a good 15, it's about a good 15 feet tall. Uh, and it was just laying there on the ground, and there were these workers there that were obviously there to remove it. And because I guess because of the protection around cactus around here, where you're not allowed to cut them down or something, they had to make all of their phone calls. They were taking photographs from every possible angle to show that it had blown down, it hadn't been cut down. But that thing was down, and I managed to grab a couple of pictures while they were doing all their evaluations and everything else. And so I will post them later. But it was kind of sad to see it down there because it was such a massive cactus. It was kind of sad to see it laying on the ground like that. And the way it was laying, it kind of looked like two of its little arm things out the side were kind of like tucked up, and then you had this great big long piece at the top there that kind of looked like one of those cone, the cone heads. Who remembers the cone heads? Kind of looked like that, and they're just laying on their side sleeping. That's kind of what it reminded me of. But it was just so sad to see this great majestic cactus um, laying on the ground like that. And you could look at the base and you could see quite easily that it had just snapped. So those winds yesterday, I don't know how many other cacti around the resort got blown over yesterday, but I know that that one was at risk because so much of the bottom part had just dropped off. And I'll have to see if I can find the before picture of when it was standing tall, and then show you, and then I'll post the pic, and I'll also post the picture of it laying on the ground. Um, so yeah, that was kind of sad to see, but it had it had filled the purpose of um, standing proud and tall. It really was, and it was quite a. I kind of enjoyed walking past it each day and seeing it and seeing the birds that lived in it. There was a lot of little birds, and they get on there and they create these little holes in there, and they live inside the cactus, and there's just these little birds. And although they got, I'm not sure if they, I don't even know what type of birds they. I really don't know what type of birds they are, but they drill holes into the cacti and they go and live in the cacti. And when you're walking around here, you see them sitting on top of the lights, and they're like with their beaks on top of the lights. So provided homes for birds, and it was quite a majestic. It was a very majestic looking cacti, and to see it laying on the ground like that was kind of sad. Um, so that was any downside, but I was grateful that I had had the opportunity to see it to see it most days that I've been here, um, because that's one of the places that we walk past on our morning walks and our evening walks. There's just been a few days where we haven't walked back that way or gone out that way in the evenings, like the last 3 days with my foot. But it was just kind of cool to just see it there and just be in awe of its majestic size, um, and how tall and proud it looked. But life has a circle. There's a circle of life, and that was part of its circle. It's done its job, and I have no idea how long it takes these cacti to grow as tall as they do. I have no idea. So I have no clue as to how old this cacti was. So if anybody happens to know, I would greatly appreciate that. But anyway, and my lessons learned today. Yeah, let's see. Monday, I didn't get it. I got some work done in the morning until I hurt my foot. Did not get any work done on Tuesday. I had that down as a travel day, so I just took the day off to totally concentrate on um, laying with my foot elevated, icing it. I got the TENS machine out that day, so icing in the TENS machine and just taking care of my foot and having it elevated and staying off the computer as much as possible. Yesterday, it was a mixture of both. A little bit of time on the computer, time laying down with the foot elevated, a little time, and that sort of thing. And today, it was more like, oh, I've got to get this done, and going back into that distracted mind place again, where it's like, oh, I've got to do this, Oh, yeah, now I've got to go take a break and I have to go ice my foot. Yep, okay, well, let me just finish this. Oh, and now I must remember to do this. So there was a lot of that going on today, and all of a sudden my foot's just sitting there and it's just going boom, boom, boom with the pain because I hadn't done the TENS machine today. I hadn't done the icing. I only put arnica gel on it this morning when I got up, and hadn't put any more on it since. And my foot was throbbing so much because I was sitting here. I didn't even have it elevated, but it's really hard to elevate it on a bench seat because you've sort of got to sit there with it out to the side, and yeah, this bench is not long enough for that. And it got to the point where it was just hurting so bad I was completely distracted by what I was doing. I was like, okay, I get the message. And even Zeffie had been coming up to me throughout the day and sitting here and whining at me. And I think she was trying to tell me, you got to stop and take care of your foot. She tried to get rid of the culprit yesterday by putting it in the bin. If you missed that post, if you have a look on my wall, there's a picture of the Kong sitting in the bin, and she must have put it in there because I definitely didn't. And when I went to put the trash bag in last night, there it was sitting at the bottom of the bin. And but Zeffie was coming to me during the day and trying to get me to take breaks, and I was just sort of like trying to play catch up with everything that I had missed over the last few days for working and on projects and things. And so I'm sorry, Zeffie. She's up there asleep. But she is a very happy puppy because her favorite mail carrier is back. And she was out to it in the bed this morning, and she heard the mail truck going down A Street. And she comes belting out here. Like, I'd gone in, said hello to her and all that. Not a flicker, not a twitter, not a nothing. Nothing. I come and sit down, and 2 minutes later she comes flying out. She's up at the window, and she's looking out the window. And she runs to the door, and she's looking out the door. And then I hear faintly the mail truck moving. And I'm sort of like, oh my gosh. So she sat there. She sat at the door from 10 o'clock till Chris came past at 11:30, 11:45. She sat there at the door waiting and waiting and waiting because her favorite mail carrier was back. And yes, she got her if the door is open, if Chris sees that our door is open, and there's no mail for us, she will stop to give Zeffie treats. So Zeffie was sat there patiently, and as soon as she heard that mail truck stop, her tail and back end just started going, and she was up on the screen door like, "Come on, give me my treat, give me my treat." She is super excited that Chris is back. So it's been it's been a day of lessons. It's sort of like, when you do have an injury, and everywhere else you're feeling great, you're feeling good, and you're getting back into the groove of working again, and you just tend to forget that, hang on, you do have to stop and take breaks to take care of an injury. An injury is not going to fix itself after 2 days. I mean, the swelling is still, I can actually move my toes a lot more now. So I can move my toes a lot more. There's 4 of them, and now this beautiful shade of purple. They're still on the swollen side, but I got the compression socks, and I had that on, and it made it so much easier to get my foot in the shoe because with a regular sock I can't, because it's just the compression socks compressing it in. I can't get it in if I put the compression bandage on because it's too thick. So there's these socks that come, they're toeless, and they just go from the base of the toes up to just above the ankle. And they're actually designed with the compression around the arch of the foot area for the what's that stupid thing that I can never remember the name of. It's that tendon across the arch of the foot. What's the name of that thing? Oh, I can't remember. And so it's got that compression there, and I've been putting those on to get my foot into the sneaker, and it works so much better. Oh my gosh. And I still get that compression on the foot. And so I've been walking around with it and I think half the problem with today was is that when I was sitting here working, I had that compression sock on my foot, which is what helped cause the pain and more swelling. And because my foot was down on the ground, it wasn't elevated. I was just in the groove of working, and it wasn't until my foot started going boom, boom, boom. So then I had to go literally peel the sock off and go and put my little setup over there on the couch and just lay down, put the TENS machine on it, put the ice on it, put the TENS machine on it, let them do their thing, and then just lay there afterwards with my foot elevated. It meant I missed my networking thing this afternoon because I always have a networking thing on Thursdays. But I thought, yes, I could sit here for an hour and talk with people and things like that, but I'm going to be miserable if I'm sitting here and my thoughts going boom, boom, boom. So I decided to step back, take care of me, and so now I'm going to get off this, go take care of me again, go put my foot up for a bit because I do have to be back on it in 45 minutes. Actually, probably a little less since I do all the welcoming and stuff as well. So in about 40 minutes, I've got to be back online. So I'm going to go stretch out on the couch for a little more, put my foot up again, and I think I will put ice on it this time. And then before I get up to get back online again, I'm going to put the Arnica cream on it again. But yeah, we'll get there. So it's just remembering to do these things and not get so not so caught up in what I'm doing. Yes, it's great to get back in the groove of working, but neglecting oneself when you've got an injury, no. So I'm going to take more notice of my puppy when she tells me. But anyway, I'm going to go put my foot up and ice, and while that's icing, I'm going to post the pictures of the cacti, the cactus laying down on the ground. I'll show the picture of it taken when it was up and with that piece across the bottom, and then I'll show you the picture of it on the ground as well. But anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you tomorrow for Fun Friday. I might even do some colouring tonight because that's my fun activity for this week. So I may do some more colouring. In fact, I think that would be a good thing to do while I am stretched out with my foot up. I think I'm going to go do that too. Anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll catch you for Fun Friday, and we'll see what fun activity we're pulling out of the fun tin tomorrow morning for the upcoming week. Hey, konera. Oh, quick thing. If any of my New Zealand family and friends are watching this, please let me know if you're okay. There's been a few earthquakes down near, not in New Zealand, off the coast of New Zealand, a few hundred miles away. But there's a tsunami warnings in the area for certain areas within New Zealand. So I hope, and yes, they did feel some of the quakes this morning. There was one that was like 105 kilometers off the coast of New Zealand, was the first one that woke them up at I think it was 2:27 this morning New Zealand time, which would have been 2:27 plus 5:27 Pacific time, AM. And then there was another one around 6:30ish in the morning New Zealand time that was, the first one was 7.1, I think, if I recall correctly from what I read. The next one was a 7.4, and that was up near the Comedic Islands, and that one I believe was also felt in New Zealand as well, but they had tsunami warnings out for that. And then they had less than an hour or two ago, they had an 8.0 magnitude earthquake again in the Comedic Islands, and so they're under tsunami warnings again in all the coastal regions. So I hope all my New Zealand family and friends are staying safe. Thank you for those that have texted me to let me know. I appreciate that. And just hope everybody, I'm just praying for everybody in New Zealand that everything is safe and that the tsunami is not as bad as they may be predicting it to be. So with that, everybody have a super fantastic sparkling evening. And I know I shouldn't probably say that after talking about earthquakes and tsunamis, but trying to spread a little sparkle and help people be a little happier. Hey, konera.